Alright guys, in today's video, I will be giving you tips and tricks on how to get good at Roblox Bedwars. But make sure to watch till the end because we teach a lot of stuff that even pro players didn't even know that could make them good at the game. Alright, so the first tip and trick I would recommend is that you buy kits. Now I know it's pay to win, but trust me, buying kits gives you a big advantage. Now let's say you're in a PvP fight with somebody. They don't have a kit. That gives them a big disadvantage because we all know that you have a kit. Now, the first kit for a new player I would recommend is that you use Uzi Kit. Uzi Kit is a good kit for a new player, and that's because you can literally dash onto people and dash like basically it's just dashing. Like if you hold the sword button, like let's say you're on mobile, if you hold the sword button, then you can dash, and sometimes you can even hit people through walls just from dashing. Like this kit is insane. This kit has a range of 10 blocks when going into a PvP fight, and that's why I'd say it's the best kit for a new player. Next is that instead of rushing mid by buying a stone sword and blocks and just immediately rushing mid, I recommend that you just buy armor in the first minute of the game, and this because this gives you such a good advantage. I recommend that before starting off by fighting people, you just buy armor and blocks. Another good thing is to buy iron armor at least 2 minutes in the game, and that's because this will mean that you will be so far ahead of other people that are lower geared than you. And it's just also really better than buying a stone sword because that's what usually people would do. And this is a lot better because you can be more protected. Meanwhile, they are staying with no armor and a stone sword, which is basically nothing compared to what you have. Alright, another tip, as we all know, there's a famous YouTuber called Tanker, and what he usually does during PvP fights is before fighting somebody, he would build up and then drop down on them. For example, I'm going to show it right now. Build up, drop down, and hit them with the sword. Now, I recommend that you do something a lot better, which is now I know this might sound sus, but I don't care. Go behind the back of your opponent and just push them immediately because they won't expect it. They won't expect you to do that. They really won't. I'm serious. Now another good tip is, let's say you're low on health. Build up, just build up to a point where your opponent cannot reach you with their sword. As you can see, my opponent cannot reach me right now, and right now I'm just peacefully healing while he's trying to hit me, but he can't. And then once you're fully healed, I recommend that you drop back down and start fighting them again. And this just goes on, and I say that this just goes on for an infinite loop over and over again until you finally get them comboed and they're just dead. Because most players don't even know that this is because most players don't even play like this. Most players don't even do this. Alright, the next tip is if you're jumping while during a PvP fight, I'd recommend that you stop jumping, alright? I know it just sounds like I just got a lot meaner, but I'm serious. I want you to stop jumping because jumping during a PvP fight gives you a big disadvantage. For example, you'll take more knockback. I'm like, look at this. I'm jumping around. This person's trying to fight me. He hits me. I take tons and tons of knockback. But if I don't jump, look, I take less knockback. So it's literally a disadvantage. So don't do that because it'll be a lot better. And knockback is a horrible thing. You do not want that to happen to you because if you take knockback, well, guess what? Taking knockback can make you fall into the void, and you don't want to fall into the void. It's not really a good thing. Because once you fall into the void, that's a chance that you could just lose everything. Alright, so another tip is that I recommend that you get good at clutches. Not 1v3 clutches or 1v4 clutches, teleport clutches and block clutches. Like for example, that teleport clutch that I just did right there on the screen. I'm like, look at this teleport clutch right here. It's Like, I would recommend that you at least spend 1 hour every once in a while in custom matches trying to get better at block clutches or teleport clutches. Alright? Because look at how good I've gotten at my block clutches and teleport clutches. I'm like, you can see me. I'm really good at teleport clutches and block clutches. And you should really just take advice from any other people that are better at block clutches or teleport clutches. And I just say it's like the best for like trying to run away from people. Like, let's say you're low on health. Block clutches and teleport clutches could be the best thing for running away from a person. Like, for example, block clutches, boom. Do you see how good that is? That is something that you need to get better at. Alright, the next tip is that I recommend that you get better at building. This is my guess on what your clicking speed is for building. Now, as you can see, that is a very slow clicking speed. Now, I would recommend that you would just try your hardest to get better at clicking speeds. Like, go into multiple custom matches, just like I said about the last tip. Go into custom matches for at least an hour, trying to get better at your clicking speeds and stuff. Try taking online CPS tests on like websites. There's this one website I usually use every once in a while, and I'll take like a CPS test to see how good my CPS is. And then eventually I'm just good at bridging, like at this clip that I just showed you. Like, I just got so good at bridging. Like, look at the speed. Look at the clicking speed, see? You just need to get good at bridging, because if you don't bridge fast, it could give you a very big disadvantage for your PvP fights. Alright, another good thing that would be helpful with PvP is using the spam clicking method. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, one-tap method is better! One-tap method is better! But I don't care. Look, one-tap method sucks, alright? One-tap method could be very bad, because look at this example. I'll take off my armor, I'm doing the one-tap method, I'm taking a lot more damage than this Diamond Guardian. So that's the thing, you want to spam click so you take less damage than your opponent, because it would be so much helpful. Alright, another tip I recommend, let's say somebody's chasing you. I would just build in random places on a bridge, because if there's somebody chasing you on a bridge, then you just build in random places. Like, basically build like a parkour course for them to get past. And while they're trying to get past that thing, you have a big advantage, because they'll try to parkour for that thing, and sometimes they'll even fall. So yeah, it's kind of funny when they fail, and sometimes they might make it, sometimes they won't. And it just depends on how hard you make the course. And while they're trying to get through that parkour thingy that you just built for them, you can literally run away by building away with your blocks. It gives you such more of an advantage. And like I already said, watching them fall into the void sometimes from this is kind of funny as well. Because it's, they just don't know how to get out of there. They really don't. Alright, another tip I would give you is to play squads. As a new player, that is a good thing. Now, don't solo queue into squads. No, do not do that, okay? I'm warning you. Do not do that, because first of all, you're playing with teammates that you do not know who the heck they are. And first off, the teammates that you solo queue with will be completely useless. First of all, they'll do nothing to help you. Like, seriously, they'll do nothing but just gen camp, and sometimes all your teammates will just leave, and you're gonna have to clutch up the match all by yourself. And we all know that's not a good thing. That's not something a new player wants to experience. So I recommend that you call up your friends, if you have any friends that are better than you at Roblox Bedwars, and just play squads with them, because they can be much more helpful. Alright guys, so another tip is that you forge your stuff. I don't care what weapon you use, any weapon that you think is best. I recommend that you forge the normal sword, because it is the best. It has the best hit detection. It's just the best. All right, it has the best hit detection, and it's a lot better than anything else. And I also recommend that you forge your health, because this could be a lot more helpful during your PvP fights. Because let's say, I don't know, I'm fighting somebody and they only have 150 health. Meanwhile, I have 210 health. This means that it can be a lot more helpful because it will be a lot more harder for them to kill me, and it will be a lot less harder for me to kill them because, see, I'm not even at half health right now, and I could just slay them out like it's nothing. Like, bam, they're already executed in like 2 seconds. See, it's a lot more better. Alright guys, another tip I'd recommend is that if you start getting better at the game, I recommend that you start playing solos. Now I know it's a lot sweatier, like it's 10 times more try hard than squads, and the match ends in like 2 seconds. But here's the thing, I want you to look at how other people play solos, because playing solos can actually give you a big experience. Like, for example, let's say even if you don't win the match, I'd say that you spectate one of the last players, because let's say that they have a lot more skill than you. Then you could just watch them and see how they play the game, and you can take tips off of how they play, because we all know you want to get better at the game. Alright guys, the last tip I would say is to subscribe to YouTubers that are better than you at Roblox Bedwars. For example, Mini Bloxia. He is one of the best Roblox Bedwars players, alright? I'd say that his skill comes very close to Tanker's skill. I'm serious. Although if they were in a 1v1, Tanker would win, but it would definitely come very close. Another YouTuber I'd recommend is Tanker. Another YouTube, because he's the best Roblox Bedwars player of them all. Alright? And another YouTuber I recommend is Fulton, because he is also very good. And if you wanted to, I know he's very toxic, but you can watch Alan is Greasy if you want to. And also another one, Hoopy, even though she's really not that good at the game. Alright guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, I hope that you would smash that subscribe button, because I'm trying to speedrun to 100 subscribers. But you do not need to subscribe, alright? You can always change your mind from unsubscribing if you want to. I don't really care. But either way, subscribe if you want to, because it would be very helpful, and we're on the road to 100 subscribers. And also, if you thought these tips and tricks were very helpful, then I recommend you use them for the rest of your time of playing Roblox Bedwars.